Now, the Greater Lombardy East Residents Association is calling for vigilance following two separate but similar incidents of alleged human trafficking this year. Now, last week, police arrested 32 foreign nationals believed to have escaped from a house where they were held captive in the northern Johannesburg suburb. A similar arrest took place in January when 26 other foreign nationals were found roaming the streets in the area. Now, in both incidents, it was found that those arrested were Ethiopian nationals. Newzroom Afrika's Scara Mafokoane is live for us in Lombardy East, going to get us through this. Community sentiments and initiatives there, those seemingly talking about fighting crime here, Scara. Let's talk about whether the community itself is actually aware of what is set to go on in and around the area.
A very good morning to you, Arabile. And indeed, we find ourselves this morning in Lombardy East, just a bit further from Johannesburg, just northeast Johannesburg. Indeed, they are aware, and I think this is one of the measures that they're trying to take into consideration when it comes to fighting crime in the area. They are mobilizing, like you mentioned earlier in your intro, they are mobilizing the community to be more aware, to be more vigilant towards people on the streets, towards their neighbors, and towards anything that may be of criminality in the area. What we do know that they are doing so far, if you can, just over my right, there is a board, the Glera area, which is it's Greater Lombardy East Residents Association. So what they are doing is that they are mobilizing this community to try boom the area, to close off the area, to control the entrance and exits of this suburb. So that's one of the initiatives that they're doing. I do know as well that they do have day and night patrols. So crime prevention in the area of late, these two incidences have made them aware, and this is one of the initiatives that they are taking into consideration. So, as you mentioned, there are two cases which took place just this year with a month apart, one being in January and the other one just being on Wednesday, the 26th of March. So these two incidents, what are the similarities? The similarities are that the foreign nationals which were found roaming the streets are Ethiopian. The other similarity is that they're found in this area, just a few streets apart from each other. So that's what we know so far. But when we asked, what are police doing about this? A little earlier in the week, we spoke to Gauteng Police Commissioner, who is Tommy Mtombeni, and he assured this community, he assured South Africa that crime intelligence, together with the local CPF and his troops on the ground, have a grip on this situation. Let's take a listen.
We have these close collaborations with the community, and of course, we're working closely with the Community Policing Forum within that space. And I would say in January, that information was crime intelligence led. And I must indicate that these three people, they are still in custody. They are going to appear in April, somewhere there on the 14th of April. And we have found further these three individuals that are also connected to a kidnapping case in Benoni. So it will seem like from time to time, these people, they come up, and then there's a mushrooming of this typical type of leasing those houses within that space.
Scott, why don't you just give us then an update with regards to the suspects that have been arrested in both incidents so far?
So what we do know is that they were held at Sandringham Police Station. So of the latest incidents of the 26 Ethiopian nationals, they appeared at the Hillbrow Magistrates Court on Friday. So because of the number of suspects which were appearing, they had to divide the number, the suspects into two courts. So what the matter was then postponed to the 3rd and the 4th of April because there was no court interpreter, a language interpreter who could interpret Ethiopian. So what we do know as well, Arabile, is that none of those Ethiopian nationals, none of them could speak English or could understand English. So it was pointless to continue with the bail application or the pleading of the suspects in the absence of an interpreter. So that relates to the second incident which took place last week. With the first instance, which took place in January, they will be appearing at court on the 14th of April later next month.
I don't know about the back, how is access to come inside of South Africa. So I hear a call, the message from somebody, is your brother is here. I receive some calls and then I must pay some small amount of the money to get my brothers. So that is the one I get received with a call from somebody. When I go to report on the police station, so I don't have any details because when he's come South Africa, I don't know. There's no any definition or about for my brother. So I was waiting for details, and then when I wait, I saw the news is some legal immigrants is break the houses. It's like kidnapped on some places. I saw on the news. So when I come to court, that's why I come here.
Scara, we've just played a clip of one of the brothers then of the assailants actually who have been arrested in all of this. Let's just talk a little bit briefly, a little bit more about some of those, the families of those that are arrested and what they're saying.
The gentleman we spoke to, who we just played the bite from, we spoke to outside court on Friday. It was surprising for him. He says he received a call from an unknown number, an unknown person, alerting him that his brother was in South Africa and that his brother was being held captive. And then there was an amount which was demanded from him of at least 28,000. So the brother, that's how the brother was alerted of his brother being in the country. He then alerted his family back in Ethiopia that the brother was in the country. They do not know how he arrived here. They do not know the means that he got here. They don't know, and they didn't understand why he was even in the country. So he says he reported the matter to the police. Upon reporting it, it was then discovered that he then discovered through the media that his brother was arrested. He couldn't, unfortunately, see his brother on Friday at court because, or rather, he saw him in the dock but couldn't speak to him because, like I said, the matter had been postponed because they had to find a court interpreter who will be at court on the 3rd and the 4th of April. So what the brother is saying is that he still needs to speak to his brother and understand those questions which were asked, that why was he in the country, who did he come with, and why was he here?
Scara, this is an update that the police are certainly going to have to share a little bit more detail on as things proceed, especially with those that are already in court and really just around the area as well, to kind of get an understanding why that area is being targeted as well in all of this. Scara Mafokoane, thank you so much for that reporting then out of Lombardy East. We'll continue those updates a little bit later on this morning.